Welcome to Home and Away, a Tottenham Hotspur podcast hosted by myself, Graeme Spice and Glen Cowie, where we discuss all things Tottenham Hotspur with both the match attending and international supporters view. This episode will be joined by Iain Sawyer from Poddingham Podspurs, preview the Sunderland game on Sunday and all the news around the club. A lot to get through, so let's get into it.
Let me be the one that you turn to, someone you can rely on, closer each day, home and away.
Glenn, how are you doing?
Good, mate. Doing good. One thing I do want to, I'm a firm believer in fact checking myself. So the first thing out of the gate from me is I mentioned on the last episode that De Zerbi had used Bissouma at Brighton and he had not. I was about half a season off. I thought that he had played under him, but he hadn't. So
So we signed him when Graham Potter was still there.
Believe so, yeah. So De Zerbi did not manage Bissouma. So back to the theory that Bissouma will be sold. But yes, broadly I'm well. Can't believe it's 10th of April here and Easter's been and gone, and the leaves are further falling from the trees and it's looking very wintry in Melbourne. But how about you?
It's been very nice here.
Yeah, I was going to say
it was 25 degrees.
I have this running joke. I'm in a WhatsApp group with my mates who I went to school with, and we're still very much in touch. And we have this running joke every year about this time. I do 2 screenshots of the weather in Melbourne and the weather in Sandhurst, and I congratulate them when they beat our weather. So that happened on Wednesday. So congratulations, you're officially hotter than Melbourne. So, but yes, good to be here. Iain, how are you, mate? Good to have you on.
I'm all right. I've been hobbling around. I got a weird ankle and a weird leg that's all spreading up my body because I'm an old man now.
You haven't been seen by the Tottenham medical team?
No, I just imitated
They're rushing
my
you
heroes.
back.
Yeah. I've got Roberto De Zerbi yelling at me. Yeah.
No, indeed. But look, fortunately, no real game to review because that means we didn't lose. We didn't play.
It feels like about 6 months ago we last played football.
It's been lovely.
It's been amazing. Yeah.
I'm not going to disagree.
It's done wonders for my nerves.
And I'll put this to both of you. Maybe start with you, Iain. Do you sit in the camp of that is only beneficial for De Zerbi, given that he's had so much time with them on the training ground? And it's not like months, but it's a good amount of time without any midweek football, without Premier League football to really get into them. Where do you sit on that, Iain? Do you feel that's a huge positive and will reap the benefits from it?
Yeah, that's a leading question, isn't it, Glenn? But yes, I do.
Yeah.
And I'll answer a second question too, but I think that a second answer to that, I think that, that time, it's almost like a mini preseason. He's not going to get them up to fitness. He's not going to get them fully acclimated, but they're going to get to know his voice. They're going to get to know him. Some of these guys who have just come back from injury, it's another 3 weeks, like Bergvall had a great international break. I think he set up the goal that put Sweden through to the World Cup.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
It's cleared out that horrible loss from the 3-0 against Forest.
Archie Gray scored for the under-21s as well. He's had a good. And
second part, I would say that it's rehashing the Roberto De Zerbi controversy stuff. But if we'd had a game immediately after he was hired, there would be all that bad blood boiling around, and it's still there. Don't get me wrong, but I think that it's settled a bit.
The fact that he did the first interview a couple of weeks ago, probably, and I think we talked about this before we came on, that it's likely that it'll get brought up again at the first press conference, which is probably tomorrow, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
it's usually on a Friday, isn't it, for weekend matches?
Yes, it's tomorrow. But the heat has come down a bit from a lot of the fan base.
Yeah, I think there's it's still fairly polarized, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely people on who will not watch Tottenham play while he's the manager, which I'm not going to tell anyone now they should support or not support the club, but I'm not sure that I could bring myself to that. I mean, ultimately, I support the football club first and foremost. You don't have to like everyone who works at the club. I don't like anyone who runs the club. So from that perspective, it's just another person that I would rather wasn't there. But just to talk about football again and not to be such a depressing thing would be good.
That's the point, right? It'd just be nice to have a game of football to hopefully enjoy and discuss, and that's what the team is there to do. But pose a question to you, Graeme. How much do you think plays onto the minds of the players that De Zerbi is the permanent manager? Like, it's no more interim. It's not, I'm not going to be here in a few months. He is going to be there. And well, maybe he'll only be there a year of the 5. I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, he's going to be
He
there.
might not make it to the summer.
Well,
he might end up punching someone.
Yeah. Well, but do you feel that the players feed into that a bit more than they did under Tudor? Like, Tudor was quite an easy out for him, wasn't it? Well, I'm here until the end of the season. There's so many outs to that from a player's perspective.
I think if that is the case, it speaks a lot to the professionalism of the players. That if they would not given ultimately, it's their own reputations that are on the line as well, right? If they get relegated, that it's very easy for them to point at everybody else, but they're all culpable. They'll all be a part of a team that got relegated, right? And I wouldn't want that on my CV.
But they're going to have to look at that and look hard and look twice at that.
Yeah.
You know, that's really on their shoulders, and they're not going to be able to wash that off their career real quick.
No.
Well, hence, as we get into the summer, if we do hopefully stay up, I will not be unhappy to see the back of Romero and Van der Ven. I won't. I just don't think they've been good enough in large spells of any given season. I won't be unhappy if we get rid and we build the team around a Danso and a Vuskovic, you know. That's just my view, but that's where I sit.
I also think there's going to be there's the 2 phases of De Zerbi. Not 2 faces, 2 phases. He's only brought 2 coaching staff in with him. So we've retained a number of the people that were there beforehand. So including, is it Giorgio?
No,
what's his name?
It's like Manfred Mann or something. It's a double M name, isn't it?
Oh, that was that guy. But there's the guy, the set piece coach that was at Man United and Brentford with Thomas Frank. He's still there. So it's a bit of a blended team. And so I think what we've got is De Zerbi trying to get an extra 10% out of all the players by galvanizing them together and trying to eke out some results. And I guess that he'll have some ways that he wants them to play, but I don't think he'll try and impart too much and confuse them. There's not enough games left to wholesale change everything, I don't think.
Do you think there's an element here that he might ask some of the senior players, even though I've just labelled them as I wouldn't be unhappy if they left? Do you think he could ask, what system do you want to play, guys? What works for you in these next 7 games so we can get out of the shit? Or do you think he's going to come in and just be this is
I don't think so. I think it would be. I think if you want to build a relationship with the players, I don't think that's a great starting point, right?
Yeah.
Because you're basically saying, I haven't got a clue. Yep. Tell me how you want to play. If they're going to do that, you might as well put Ben Davies in charge. And
it's funny you bring up Ben Davies because the backroom staff, I'd quite like to see him be given some kind of role in the coaching staff. He seems to be.
Don't let Richard Stafford say that.
What's that? Sorry.
Don't let Richard Stafford.
Yeah, Richard's already
that.
given it the thumbs down.
For some reason, he absolutely detests the guy. And the funniest thing was when I went to the match with him, which was beginning of January. Of course, Ben Davies scored.
Yeah.
So it was so funny. So.
Yeah.
But yeah. I think that when I said the 2 phases of De Zerbi, I think the first phase will be this get to the end of the season. And I think that he's on the assumption that we stay up, he will completely revamp the backroom staff again. And it will probably be more in the image of what he's had at previous clubs. There are 7 people in his usual backroom team that he's had at Brighton and Marseille. And he's only got 2 of those this time. So I think there's a likelihood that we might see more of them in the summer.
Come in.
Once we know that we've got Premier League money to pay for a bigger coaching team, I guess. And because of the staying up or going down, I don't know, but I'm sure costs will have to be cut somewhere.
Either way, it starts with an earthquake. There's something happening either way.
Yeah, and I'm kind of happy for the new setup, De Zerbi, that the first game is actually away from home. I think that really is quite helpful for him. The home games seem to come with so much more pressure, and any missed pass, any mess up, any stuff up seems to the fans jump on. So I'm kind of glad it's away, but he's obviously, as you mentioned, Graeme, in the wider chat that we have, he's already going to be without Kudos, which we all thought he was going to be back fighting fit. So we've talked about it off air a bit, Ian and Graeme. It's I don't know, like he's suddenly not fit and now he needs surgery.
Well, it's like, how do we get to that stage? Either it's a completely new injury or a reoccurrence of the same injury. I'm not sure, but what are the medical team doing? It just feels like they're asleep at the wheel.
It's not the first one either, is it?
No.
We had who came
Even
back? Solanke's injury.
Yeah.
You got guys.
Yes.
The ACL injury.
He was out for weeks, wasn't he? They still it'd be 2 or 3 weeks, and the next thing you know, he's out for 4 months or something. It seems to be quite commonplace.
Don't forget Odobert too. He had that ACL
and
injury,
even
came back, and it recurrence.
Kulusevski's just a knock.
Yeah, Kulusevski's was a knock, wasn't it, to begin with?
Yeah. It's like we said before. It's like Tottenham medical injuries are like they're in dog years, not in.
But how many times have we
normal.
recycled the medical team now? Because it's a different team to what we had
exactly.
around.
It's not the people, and it can't be the people. It's like we've had a complete swap out of everyone from like top to bottom. So there has to be some other factors at play. There's obviously some bad decision making still somewhere along the line, but there has to be something with maybe the training pitches, because it seems to have been worse since we've moved to the current Hotspur way. And maybe the pitch itself, the new stadium, that's a fairly recent thing where it's obviously I think I mentioned it last time, didn't we? That there's I think is it Real Madrid's pitch? They've had a lot of injuries as well, and
they've
it's
got retractable.
where the turf pitch is in not as deep as the
It doesn't get
as a normal non-moving pitch would be. That the earth becomes more compacted and harder, and because then you've got that artificial man-made fiber woven into the grass as well to hold it all together, that maybe it's a cause of more like twisting injuries, like ACLs and knees and ankles, and it's just hard to tell, isn't it? But something's not right. Either that, or we need to get like a witch doctor come in and like
an exorcist.
Need someone come in and piss in all 4 corners of the ground. I think as Barry Fry once did.
It did, didn't it? Yeah, good stuff.
I think that the players are overworked relative to the past. It's all sprints and running stats now, and I think that it gets to a bit of a death spiral. You know, you get one injury, you got a higher chance of a second injury in your squad because you're down a man, and then a second makes a third. And I think we reached this tipping point where we had so many injured first teamers that were constantly rushing people back, maybe before they're ready,
and the ones that are left end up playing more than they should do. And it's kind of like a bit of a death spiral you end up on, right?
Interestingly, I've made comment that his first game with us is away, which I'm quite happy about, but his first home game is against Brighton. Like these things seem to happen, don't they, with football? It's quite funny.
Another team that we've struggled against in recent.
Wow. I hope he gets a win, because we're our local supporters clubs across the Mid-Atlantic. There's 9 of us getting together in Baltimore. Hopefully hundreds of Spurs fans at a bar to watch that game. So all the way down from Virginia Beach all the way up to Philadelphia are all getting together for the Brighton game.
Quite a stretch, right?
Yeah. You get the win, because there's nothing worse than going to all that effort, which takes a lot of effort for everybody, and then you get the defeat.
Last year we had 1-1 versus West Ham.
Yeah.
It was an awful game.
Well, and there's every possibility going into the Sunderland game we will be in the bottom 3. West Ham play Wolves.
They play Friday, don't they?
Yeah, they play Friday night. There's not any more.
Who have they got? It's Wolves, is it?
Wolves at home. Wolves. They've got Wolves at home, so
Wolves will roll over for them.
You'd expect them to get that result. I mean, things happen in football, but I fully expect us to be in the bottom 3 by the time we play Sunderland. So
so they only go above us if they win, right?
Correct.
A draw wouldn't be enough to put them above us.
I don't think so. I think
because they're a point below us and goal difference.
Yeah, I think our goal difference is
significally better at the
moment.
It used to be
better.
Yeah, it's closer than it was, but it's still. I think it's 5 points or something, it's 5 goals or something like that.
Yeah, not much.
Well, Leeds are only 3 points above us, and we still play them, right? So there's that to consider as well. But it's like what we said last week, Graeme, or last time we recorded. We keep saying as the season progresses and we got Tudor in and now we've got De Zerbi, we only really need 3 wins, but we're running out of games to get them.
Yeah, we'll be with 3 games to go. We'll still only need 3 wins.
And by the way, 2 of those games are away to Villa and away to Chelsea, where historically we don't get a great deal.
Yeah.
I mean...
Well, but let's be honest, since January, the only 2 points we picked up have been Man City and Liverpool.
Yeah. We haven't won.
It's so bizarre, isn't it?
It's over 100 days, isn't it, since we've won in the Premier League. It's mental. And I think
the next team down from that is 49 days, I think.
Did Sheffield Wednesday finally win? Because it was us and Sheffield Wednesday that hadn't won this calendar year.
I think they might have done.
No, they still haven't.
Oh, okay.
Good.
I don't feel so bad now.
Well, As I say, we're probably playing them next season, but we're not. They're bottom of the Championship.
But haven't they had like points deductions?
Yeah, they're on -5 points.
Yeah, and even we can't do worse than them.
Yeah, even we can't fuck that up.
But the only team that might do worse than that is Man City for
Well,
the end of the season, if it happens.
Which, to go on a bit of a sideways tangent with that is taking ages. And my industry is lawyers and litigation and disputes, and I get it. Things take a long time. But fucking hell, it's been almost 4 years, hasn't it? Since it was like
but imagine how much money them lawyers are made in 4 years.
100%. And it was like jumping around on social media the other week that 60-point deduction, some relegation. But I'm like, I don't think they're going to do it. I don't think the Premier League have the balls to do it. I really don't.
I think they'll do it next season. They'll start with a 60-point deduction and they still won't go down.
Most likely, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Because 60 points, you could probably say they got 100 points, they'd still stay up.
Do you want to hear my worry?
Go on then.
They do it. They claw back Arsenal. They're top.
Yeah,
and then they get hit with a 60 point. And then
that would be the worst, wouldn't it?
Yeah. And then
there'd be an asterisk.
Mind you,
yes.
Arsenal are doing their very best at trying to piss it away, aren't they? Even though they won in the week against Sporting, they got the result.
Yeah, that was a bit disappointing.
Yeah. But look, I don't know. I'm quietly optimistic for the Sunderland game away. I think there's not a great deal, and I'm always cautious on saying this, there's always maybe something to play for, but Sunderland they're not going to make, I don't think they can make Europe. They're not going down, so they're hovering in that mid-table. If we show up and he gets us fired up, which you'd hope he would, I see no reason why we can't go in there and win, and I feel optimistic that we can, but I don't know
But I felt like that ahead of a lot of the games that we should have. There's lots of shoulda, woulda, couldas, right? It's feel like the ones where on paper we look like we should be able to do something are not the ones where we've really turned up and done anything. And I don't understand why. I don't know what we've been doing wrong, but we seem to have misjudged all of but initially I thought with Frank it was we were showing too much respect to teams that we should be trying to beat, and that we were trying to counteract them rather than just trying to beat them. And then even with the switch to Tudor, he stopped doing that so much, and we still didn't work.
But Tudor, he chop and change players. I mean, Xavi Simons, amazing game.
He played, he was on the bench most of the time.
And even when he played well, he didn't get a look in. It was weird.
And he playing players all out of position as well. It was I don't know. It's difficult to criticise. You can criticise, but it's difficult to be really critical when you've got 13 fit players to choose from. There's not a lot of options available to him, but I felt like there were square pegs, square holes that he could have gone with that probably would have made more sense. I still am a believer that I would rather play one of the under 21 players in the right position than play someone out of position. I still think that you keep the shape of the team. It's probably more effective, but
I wouldn't disagree. You've got right backs in the squad who are younger players who have come through the academy. You've got centre backs. To tell you the other thing I noticed, Ash Phillips, I think, did he win Player of the Season or something at Stoke?
He's nominated for Young Player of the in the Championship.
Of the Championship, it's like,
and he's been captaining the team as a 20-year-old loan player.
So for me, I'm looking at it: Danso, Phillips, Vuskovic, and then is it Dorrington?
Dorrington's out on loan as well.
Yeah. So there are players that.
And then the other guy that's played a couple of games this season as well. I forget his name now.
Byfield,
yeah.
He's looked quite decent as well. He doesn't look out of place when he's come on.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like maybe this is true of all football fans, but there's like an obsession with the youth team that I don't know if they were really up to snuff. And I get that there's like a risk with putting these players in, but we've put so much of our hope on these young men, and we don't know anything really about them other than like, oh, he's doing well at Stoke, but like it is Stoke. It is.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say it's a Championship,
but I guess I think for a lot of them, you don't really know until you try them. Kane's a great example of that, right?
Yeah, there often is a clamour for younger players just because they've come through the academy and they understand what Tottenham means, etc., etc. It doesn't always result in good player, right?
But like, for instance, I would have cancelled Buskovic's loan in January if it was a possibility and brought him back just to have the numbers in the squad. And he would have played quite a bit this season if that had been the case.
Yeah, absolutely agree. You keep him in the house because now there's rumours of, if we were to go down, which is a very real possibility, that Bayern Munich are circulating for him to be signed.
They can circle all they want. Unless we want to sell him, he's not going anywhere, right? He's got...
Yeah, exactly. Wages are low enough. I mean...
Yeah.
With relegation, though, it becomes a completely different prospect and conversation because he becomes an asset that you can trade with.
Yeah, but there are other assets. You'd shift on older players before you'd shift him on,
and
right?
They probably will. But if Bayern make a stupid offer and we're down, I can see it happening. I hope it doesn't. I hope we stay up and he's a big part of our future. But I don't know what to think about this club at times, to be honest. It was funny in the chat group I'm in when it was like being talked about who was going to be De Zerbi's backroom staff. And I said, fucking hell, with our leadership, it'd probably be Martin Keown, you know? It's like, that's a
Tony Adams.
Yeah, Tony Adams and Martin Keown. But Iain, what's your general sentiment going into the Sunderland game? Like, do you share my optimism?
Yeah, I think you've got to dare to believe you can survive, you know? Otherwise, what's the point? Like, I think we can do it. I don't know if we'll get a win, but I think we could at least get a point out of it. And I think that's just, it's not enough. But we got to start clawing points out of somewhere. And away at the Stadium of Light, they just turned over Newcastle not long ago. They're not a bad little team. And I think we were chatting before. Like, what was it, 2-2 or 3-2? 2-2. Brobby tore us apart, right?
Yeah. I think it'd be interesting as well, though, because I know we've been bad, but most of the teams around us have been dropping points as well. Every now and again, they'll pick up a win, which we haven't managed to do, which is why we're in such close proximity. But nobody's playing particularly well, apart from Wolves, who seem to have turned into like prime, like Brazil. But but everyone else is they're struggling like we are for form. Yeah. So the thing is, at the moment, I'm thinking it's 9 points. But every time they drop a game, if they lose a game or draw a game, I think that the amount that we will actually need to survive becomes less. I'm not saying that I don't want us to get 9 points to survive, but so I saw someone go through the last 10 years and how many points it would have taken to survive. I think that the highest points was 38, and some, I think, was it last season? 26 or something? It was us. Actually, we were 26 points got you relegated last season. We were because we were 17th. It was the lowest surviving points tally, or whatever it was we got. Right. I can't remember. But there was still a gap between us and an 18th place.
Yeah.
But I think on average it's like mid-30s, like 34, 35. So it could be as low as that. We could need 2 wins or a win and 2 draws. Or
it kind of has become a case of, like you've just said, and a shorter way of kind of paraphrasing it is it just got to match what West Ham do, right? If West Ham lose, we lose, fine. If West Ham draw, we draw, fine. You know, it's when
it seems like a straight fight out between us and them at the moment.
I don't discount Leeds in it still. They're still only 3 points off of us, and I believe West Ham still have to play them as well.
Well, so as long as they keep tripping each other up, I don't care.
Yeah. But we play them Monday Night Football, which we never seem to do well in. That's in early May, I think. So yeah. A lot to play for, a lot to be nervous about. I'm not going to say excited about. I'm not excited at all about this prospect. It's not exciting to me. It's I'm enduring it. You know, I just hope we go and get the wins and the points required.
Sorry, Glenn, I've got some bad news. Last game of the season for West Ham is the Leeds game.
Yeah.
So you can see us. You can see us needing a win.
Sat around at Everton, we've got, haven't we, that day? Is it at home against Everton?
We're home to Everton. Yeah. They could be going for Europe. They could even be going for a Champions League spot because 5th gets you that.
Yep. So does it this year? Because they were performing so poorly?
Just expand. They just said, I saw it.
Just mentioned it.
I think it said, you get 5th again. Look, the one other thing I wanted to cover on is the Mikey Moore. There was a recent article that came out. Mikey Moore had shared that it was a heart condition. I think we all kind of knew this, rumour mill, but it has to be pretty damaging to a player of that age. And he was concerned he wouldn't play again. So nice to see him.
Initially he was out with COVID.
Yeah.
But then it took months for him to return, didn't it, after that?
And it's a known condition, like with this heart condition that comes from having COVID. So I'm glad to see that he's fighting fit and playing regularly. I hope that he features next season. Again, caveat, hope we stay up and hope we can keep a hold of these players.
I've been watching quite a lot of the highlights packages of him. That they seem to have done a really good job of just literally editing every time he touches the ball.
Yeah.
It's basically like him playing against Aberdeen or whatever. And they've been quite good to watch. And he looks comfortable in that team.
Yeah.
I think he gets quite a lot of space and quite a lot of time compared to what he would get in the Premier League. I mean, in terms of quality, it's definitely not as strong. He looks the part up there for sure.
I like what was said on the club channels or somewhere. Was it in that article that they sent him to Rangers because of the pressure? They thought, the football may not be as high, but the pressure playing at Rangers,
huge club,
where you need to win every game.
Yeah.
Unlike us.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have that pressure at all.
Whereas here we need to win any game.
Yeah. I mean, he could have in the first 2 years of his career a European trophy under his belt, which he contributed to in a small way, and then the second year he could have a Scottish championship.
Yeah. It's pretty nuts.
It's quite close up there as well, isn't it? Hearts.
Yeah, 1 point.
Hearts,
Rangers.
They pissed it away a bit. I think they had a 7-point lead at one stage, and now it's been cut to 2 or 1.
Yeah.
So it serves them right for sending our loan players back.
Yeah, indeed. The other thing, and for our viewers and listeners, I've got to drop in about 4 minutes, but I can leave you in the capable hands of Iain and Graeme to close us out. But one thing I wanted to say for our viewers and listeners, I've shared this with you guys. The Premier League have done a pretty neat thing. It's called the Archive. So if you Google Premier League Archive, you just need an email address to sign up. It's basically highlights or full games of every game since 92-93 of the Premier League. So you go down a bit of a rabbit hole with it, but it's a lot of fun. And I shared off air with Graeme and Iain. I watched the Oldham Athletic Tottenham game, the extended highlights, and Ronnie Rosenthal sets up Vinnie Samways, and we're working on having those two, funnily enough, as guests. And interestingly, the commentary of Martin Tyler and Andy Gray, they were commenting on the fact that the reason Tottenham were in that mess in that particular season was because of our home form. So the parallels are quite eerie. Like, we were just abysmal at home. But that's
Ozzy Ardiles season, wasn't it?
Ozzy Ardiles and Steve Perriman. Yeah. So it's and it was played on a best described as like a cowpat. Like
it looked like the Somme, didn't it?
It was like awful. It was absolutely
keeper expecting the whistle to go and the Germans to come over the top of the trench.
Awful. So basically, if our viewers and listeners have a Tottenham memory or a Premier League memory and you're like, oh yeah, a bit of nostalgia, it's the Premier League Archive. You just need an email address, and it's actually really cool. Like, there's so many things you can go and access, and it's like a little trip down memory lane.
So it's probably an FA Cup game. I was going to say I don't purely for the self-flagellation. It's an FA Cup game. Now I was thinking about the Man City game where we were 3-0 up at half time.
Oh, and they had 10
Joey
men
Barton got sent off, and then we lost 4-3.
Yeah. Absolute shocker.
There's some really bad stuff out there as well, isn't there?
Absolute shocker. Well, before I sign off, as from me as always, I want to give a bit of a score prediction as well as being optimistic. I don't know. I think we're going to go to Sunderland and win. I think we're going to win. I think we're going to win 3-1. I've just got this feeling. Kinski will play, won't he? And that'll be good for him.
Yeah,
I do think that'll be good for him. I thought he was treated pretty appallingly. But what do you reckon, Graeme? What's your prediction, mate?
I think narrow win, 3-1. I think maybe 2-1.
2-1.
It's going to be tight. I think we'll be better. I hope that we'll be up for it. We come out with all guns blazing.
Well, if we're not, we deserve to go down because we're going to be in the bottom 3 by the time it plays. Iain, over to you, mate.
Kind of in the same boat as Graeme. I think it'll be tight. 2-1, maybe a 2-2.
Oh, okay.
That or a blowout 4-0. We'll just kick off this new, reign in a big fashion. Who knows?
I'm really hopeful that we could do something like that, but I've learned to temper my enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Because I felt like there were games where we should come out, gangbusters and do really well, where we just literally haven't turned up and we've been 2-0 down inside of 10 minutes. It's like, so yeah, I've learned to, I'm not, in the home games, I'm even less optimistic about because I have to be there and watch it.
No, I think 2-1, but the question is, where do you get the goals from? With this current squad.
Well,
like maybe Richarlison?
Solanke has not been bad from his goal return since he's come back from injury. He's been pretty good.
Pulled off a bit.
That's the question, is that all of them give you something different, right? So Kolomwani and the other two, but none of them are really, probably if you could Franken striker one player out of the 3 of them, it would be about right. It still would be like 20% of Harry Kane, but it's, this is the thing, isn't it? I think we're always going to feel shortchanged up front because what we're comparing them against what we've had before now. We've been lucky to have a generational talent who still, even at the ripe old age of 32, looks absolutely top draw.
Oh, I watched the Bayern Real Madrid Bayern game. And do you know who he reminded me of in his absolute prime was Frank Lampard? He reminds me of peak Lampard in his ability to arrive late, his ability to spray the ball and pick a pass, his ability to track back. Like, if only England had a worthy centre forward for Kane to actually operate in behind, we'd be absolutely potent. But we don't. We don't have someone.
Dom Solanke.
Exactly, or Watkins. And Watkins, look, I quite like Watkins, but he's not Kane. And that's the problem England are going to have in this World Cup.
And he's had no form this season at all, has he?
Kane, for me, his next 2 to 3 year position, for me, is almost a number 10, just dropping in, and he's a phenomenal talent. And it also explains to me that at this stage of the season, when he was playing in the Premier League, he'd often have injuries or he didn't look fit, he just looked burnt out. Germany have a bit of an approach to player welfare that England could learn a lot from in terms of a proper break. And Germany, the German Bundesliga...
He's still been injured there, though.
He has, but it's been a little more forgiving on him in that league, I believe. So I think England will reap the benefits of that this summer. So let's hope.
He's on 49 goals, isn't he, for the season?
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Fuck it hell.
Ridiculous.
It's like he's gone past Clive Allen's 40. Yeah. 47 was it?
47.
Was it 49 as well?
In a single season. Yeah. However, Clive Allen's
they've probably still got like another 8 to 10 matches to play.
Clive Allen's was done across 46 games, wasn't it? Because it was a bigger season.
Yeah, so there's a lot more. You're right. Yeah. You're right. Yeah. Was 87? Was it? Was it 87?
It was when we finished third.
87.
Lost the FA Cup final. And didn't we lose? We finished third. We lost the FA Cup final, and we got to the semi-final of the League Cup.
Yes. So he played a lot of games.
Yeah,
he played a lot of games,
but
65
also
games.
We were on for a domestic treble in that, and we probably should have won the league. Like, we were a really good side. It was under Pleat, wasn't it? David Pleat. He had us absolutely purring because he had Waddle and Hoddle, right? Or had Hoddle left by then? I think Hoddle was in that team.
I think he was still there.
Yeah.
No, I'm not sure if he was. I think he might have gone.
So
he
now
might have gone in 86.
what I'm saying is that the English Football League need to also do an archive so we can go back and enjoy that season, because that was pre-Premier League, of course.
Yeah, that would be so good, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Is that the FA then?
It would, I guess, like FA or English, whatever, because it's all a bit weird, isn't it now? Because obviously the Premier League is the Premier League. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I'm going to try and find some footage from that season, because I was only 5, so I don't remember it.
I've had quite a lot of fun going through all the cafe newsreels. I found the video of the 61 open top bus parade with my granddad on the steps of the town hall.
That's
nice. So awesome. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's been quite fun. I'm really interested to see like the 70s era as well. Although I started watching sort of midway through the 70s as a young kid, my memories of the games are kind of non-existent. But apart from maybe some of the early, in 78 with the Argentinians were playing with Ozzy and Ricky, and then up to sort of early 80s. I'd be quite interested to have a look around that.
Yeah, I'm excited to go back and watch Ginola on that archive footage, because I was 10, 12, same it's there, and I remember the highlights and I remember him running, but just want to go back and see that on Modric, like from 20 years ago.
It's a shame again, it just starts after Gaza as well.
Yeah. Watching for Middlesbrough.
Yeah.
He wasn't half bad then even. Yeah.
5 minutes overdue my leave time. I need to go and get my stuff for work and head to the train station.
We'll finish up anyway. I think that's fine.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no worries for me.
We're going to cover.
I can leave you two to chat post episodes as well if you want. But as always from me, I'll let Graeme close us out if there's anything more from Ian. But as always from me, come on you Spurs.
Yeah, thanks to everyone who's listened in, and special thanks to Ian for joining us. It'd be good to chat to you again. Please like and subscribe to the podcast to tick all the algorithms so we can get in front of more Spurs supporters. And to close us out, as Glen said, come on you Spurs.
Come on you Spurs.
Let me be the one that you turn to, someone you can rely on, closer each day.